know that I'm looking forward to going outside with the weather warmer. Open door for anyone makes so all the sun of the core. And then I'm cold pouring winter heat. I'm on state please. Sure be nice to feast instead of trying to piece together a puzzle after being trapped in a muzzle. It's hard not to park out in the dark. Get my car parked, get my brakes fixed while I'm at it. Auto repairs got me feeling ecstatic. No, take it so serious and turn it to delirium. I'm on a beer. Inside my ribs it's shaking, every waking. The moment was a torment, now it's making, begging ornaments, tournament style, severance, competitiveness, order around, sworn in the town. Gotta say that deserve a better than this. Put together as a drunken penmanship with a letter, rolling a feather, no sting. My skin is weather like leather. Take another pull, soften like wool, accepting deception. Some people are full of it. Never had the pleasure of treasuring my own company. Oh my, sometimes I find my legs so straight, so far from simple. Try to get by, my feet just slip. I'm not so nimble. Like my thoughts in a small box, I'll drop it off and drive so
Hello, and welcome to Story in the Song. I am your host, Daryl Holloman, and our guest this evening is Elliot Krull, or the Elliot the Destroyer?
Yeah, Elliot the Augmented.
Elliot the Augmented.
Daryl Diminished.
Yep, that's the D diminished chord right there.
Oh, you want to do?
Oh no, that was okay. We can go with that one too. Anyways, folks, welcome. Today we have our guest with us, Elliot Krull, very talented musician. How you doing today, Elliot?
I'm drinking Tiske Grony.
Tiske Grony.
Right? Yeah.
What's that we're supposed to say, Brian, when we're Dobra bardzo. Tiske, give us money. Anyways, today we have Elliot Krull with us. He is a very talented singer-songwriter.
You guys know that it was my birthday?
Oh, happy birthday.
Thanks.
How old are you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, he don't want to talk about. We're not going to talk about how old he is, but everybody at home watching, wish a happy birthday to our guest, Elliot. A very talented singer-songwriter, front man, front person of the Banknotes. Why don't you tell us?
Thank you, sir.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about your music, you as an individual musician and your band?
Oh, man. Oh, wow. I guess if I could, wrap it in a box and, basically my music is just, I try to project how I feel and let it out, whether it be a chord progression or a melody or lyrics or anything. And that's the starting point, and it all just it comes from inside of me, you know what I mean? It's very therapeutic to yell your diary into a microphone. I know you.
Oh,
you get that,
I
you know?
can definitely relate to that. It's basically keeps us out of the loony bin.
Not that I have a diary, you know.
We both have diaries. We're actually going to exchange them later. So you're in a band called the Banknotes.
Yes, sir.
And you guys have a show coming up at Shuba's December 21st. You want to tell folks about that?
Yeah, that's a really cool show. We're opening for this band that blew up about a year and a half ago. They're called the North 41, and they're from like Chicago area. So it's cool to see a band from around here that's like, had the same goals that we have now, and it like paid off for them. And it's really cool to be opening for them, and they kill it. It's gonna be a crazy ass night, and we're definitely gonna bring our A game.
So where can people find your music online?
Oh, anywhere. You could, if you literally type the Banknotes basement and you spell bass like bass, you know.
BASE for those of you that don't know how to
BASS.
spell bass guitar.
BASS.
Yep,
like a
bass.
like a bass guitar.
BAZE. BASS. Just kidding. Making an album right now?
Yeah, we got Basement out on all streaming platforms, whether it's Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, Google, whatever they got. And then we've been recording at Sound Vault, Fort Knox Studios with a buddy Andrew. He's doing a really nice job.
Does Andrew have a last name?
Christopoulos.
Andrew Christopoulos.
I think that's how it's pronounced. He's a homie, and he's really talented. It's like when we recorded Basement, and I don't know, it came up with the name because we recorded it in my parents' basement. And my older brother, who's kind of just jack of all trades when it comes to music, like he plays a lot of different instruments and like he's good at recording and stuff like that. And he rigged up a laptop and had a bunch of mics and did a really nice job for what we had. And it's like you would never be able to tell, but paid an homage by calling it Basement. But
nice. Sounds like a very real recording process.
Yeah.
Not all of us musicians have the luxury of, spending hundreds of dollars an hour or even, $80 an hour at a studio. But thanks to today's technology and the ingenuity of people like Andrew.
Well, that was Kevin. I'm gonna mix and master it and put them out there. Come out with a couple music videos, maybe.
Excellent.
Maybe you could be in the music video.
Oh, I am a very talented thespian and character actor, but this isn't about me. This is about you, and you're gonna play a song for us called the Heebie-Jeebies, or is it just Heebie-Jeebies?
Heebie-Jeebies.
Heebie-Jeebies. What's that song about?
Oh man. Well, I was just going through some shit at the time, and dealing with breakups and the trials and tribulations of life and being broke. And
okay. Well, without further ado, Elliot Krull is going to perform for us his song, Heebie-Jeebies.
I know that I'm looking forward to going outside with the weather warmer. Open door for anyone wakes so all this under the court. And I'm cold, boring, winter, we I'm up to stay please. Sure be nice to feast instead of trying to piece together a puzzle after being trapped in a muzzle. It's hard not to park, out in the dark, get my car parked, get my brakes fixed while I'm at it. Auto repairs got me feeling ecstatic. Whoa, you get so serious and turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. You get so serious and turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. Take it so serious and turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. Take it so serious and turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. You either plastic or sarcastic, or the why you're making myself elastic. Fuck it, I'm laughing, I don't need this shit, I'm fantastic. Now you're spazzing out in front of passerbys after I say, think for a second, I simply decide not to ask her why. Whoa, could be a waste of my time, could be a waste of space, and now my peace of mind is flittering out of my I'm on a beer run. Take it so serious, it turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. Take it so serious, it turns into delirium. I'm on a beer run. Heebie-jeebies.
Anyways, heebie-jeebies. How long ago did you write that song?
A little while ago. Probably wrote that song about 4 or 5 years ago, but it was earlier on in my songwriting.
So, what were you going through in your personal life
Jeez, I
during
don't
that
wanna-
time?
I
If you
don't-
don't mind my asking.
Well, okay, so I have a 6-year-old daughter, and this song had a lot to do with me and her mom splitting. So yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that lot of emotions going into that song.
Yeah.
Other than that song, I know you have a plethora of material. When you're writing songs by yourself or with your band, what's the process like? How does an idea form into a song?
I don't know. Usually, I just
Now, you have a band. How do you guys? How does your songwriting process work? Do you write most of the songs, or do you come up with the skeleton of the song and then they add to it? How does that work?
Yeah, generally I come up with like the lyrics and the chord progression over time, just like sitting in my room, and then I'll present it to the guys, and we'll build parts off of what is already there, and we'll change stuff if we need to change stuff, and yeah. So I just bring it to the guys,
And do they write their parts along to the chord progressions and kind of add their own flavor to it?
yeah, everybody in the band, like they got free reign of what they could do over the song. As long as, like what I've always said, it's like as long as you know the song, play it like what you want to play.
Heck yeah. Well, why don't you tell the folks at home what your bandmates' names are and what they play?
All right, we got Mr. Evan Joyce on the bass guitar, and little fun fact. We went to preschool together. Well, he went to preschool with my older brother, and I went to preschool with his younger brother, but it was like the same shit.
You guys were together in spirit.
Yeah, I mean, he was there, and I was there.
Same building.
Same building.
Same time.
Yeah, so just, yeah. And then we got Ian Bolt on keyboards, and he's never tried Taco Bell in his entire life. And
What's Taco Ball?
Taco Bell.
Oh, Taco Bell.
And then we got Dan Tamalo on drums. And
Dan Tamalo on drums.
Yeah.
Evan Joyce and Ian Bolts. And with Elliot Krull, that makes the banknotes. Now, the next song you're going to be playing for us is called Frisky. What is that song about?
it's
Crispy.
Crispy.
I don't know why I keep saying
it's-
frisky.
If it makes you feel frisky, you could call it frisky.
You know what? My special name for the song is going to be Frisky, but to the folks, to the general public, it is known as Crispy. So what's that song about?
That song is just about being super depressed.
I think we can all relate to that, or at least a lot of artists and musicians can relate to that. Actually, whenever somebody asks me how I'm doing, instead of saying okay, I say I'm meandering through the horrors of existence. I think that should be the new good. Okay, meandering through the horrors of existence. Anyways, let's hear Elliot's song.
Crispy.
Crispy. Crispy.
Inside my ribs it's shaking, every waking the moment was a torment. Now it's making, begging ornaments, tournament style, severance, competitiveness, order around, one in the town. Gotta say that deserve a better than this. Put together as a drunken penmanship with a letter, bully a feather, no sting. My skin is weather like leather. Take another pull, soften like wool, accepting deception. Some people are full of it. Never had the pleasure of treasuring my own company, my own world, my own country, where there's no value of diamonds and pearls. No girl leading you down a broader path with her plows to a fucking slaughterhouse in the back. I trust still ways to leave, but there's a reason to wake who remembers the evil. I pass on by as I ask the best over and over, losing my focus from the task on hand. Relaxing can help you decipher the difference between being toxic and real living normal. No moronic turmoil, but it all boils down to the choices how you live your life. Voices that you listen to, what you put into it, but what's a good ending? Pretending to yourself. Never had the pleasure of treasuring my own company, my own world, my own country, where there's no value of diamonds and pearls. No girl leading you down a broader path, with plows to a fucking slaughterhouse in the back. Why trust still ways to lead, but there's a reason to wake who remembers the evil. Hopefully someone's a time parade. Show me sunshine, run away with me on a Sunday in the rain or something, nothing. Can pen it'll have you down deep in the canyon. I stand back my whole life, hold my still back, stack my head. Solitude, craving food, slept good about 10 hours. I wake and do, hope to see you soon before the roof, baby. And I screwed all this shit up. Skewed attitude made me forget to was perpetually blue, baby. Don't think I'm drinking too much, sinking when I'm swerving down the block, unnerving. Concerning who got a handle burning my head. I said to enough of it there, to something, nothing to wrap to the treasure is found.
It all depends. I write my lyrics in pieces, and then I'll have a million lyrics at that point that I pick from, and I'll come up with chord progressions or a melody that I like, and then I'll sometimes I'll get on a roll with writing something chord progressions, and I'll just sift through all my lyrics that I have that aren't used.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, you seem to be quite the lyricist. Your songs are very, very wordy, and they seem to have a lot of content, and you sing very fast, so you're telling a story, but it's also, it's not...
You better buckle up.
Yeah, it's not like the regular song where it's just, somebody holds a note and says a few words. There's lots of words in each song. I actually dig that.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm going for that. I'm, believe it or not, pretty influenced by old school Eminem, lyrically.
Oh, you sing it kind of like it's a rap song.
Yeah,
like it's the same cadence as somebody who's rapping really fast. And I also hear the reggae influence. Obviously, in reggae, there's a lot of fast singing, lot of words packed into just a short amount of time, and it makes people think. People have to pay attention, and it keeps their attention. I appreciate that about a songwriter.
Thank you.
Excellent song. I love that song. I especially like the line, I've never had the treasure of...
Never had the pleasure of
treasuring my own company. I really liked that line. Why don't you... Would you like to expand upon what that line means? I think I could guess, but...
I think I was just trying to convince myself that being lonely is okay. I guess, trying to trick myself into. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a trick. You know. Now I'm thinking about it. Being lonely ain't that bad. It's kind of nice.
Well, the way I interpret that line, because I've heard the song many times before, and that's a line that sticks out the most to me. What I think about is sometimes people don't like being alone, as in, like, they don't like spending any time where they're just alone with their own thoughts, not around people. But you and me, and any artist, and any individual for that matter, I think it's important to be able to spend some time with yourself, because otherwise, how would you write all those lyrics if you didn't have alone time? And maybe it could relate to being lonely, but I actually didn't interpret it as being lonely. I interpreted it as, the way a lot of people feel.
Interpret how you want it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Once you release art out there, it's
could have more than one meaning.
That's what it meant to me, and I was wondering if that meant the same thing to you, at least in one aspect or another. But you said it's about being lonely, but how that isn't so bad. I think that's profound.
Cool, man. Thanks.
So, anyways, please subscribe to RiverSunStone Studios on YouTube. Now back to Elliot. Elliot, when you first came here, you were in scrubs. Obviously, you're a working class person, just like probably almost all of the people watching this podcast and involved in it right now. What's your regular life like when you're not being a rock star?
Well, I work in a cubicle. I just wear the scrubs because they're comfortable, and everybody at work thinks I'm weird because of it. But I just tell them, screw off. I wear what I want to wear.
I respect that. If it were up to me, I'd just wear my Speedo to work. I'm an Uber driver, so I
did that at my old job. I used to not have to work in a cubicle. I had my own office, and needless to say, now I'm working in a cubicle, and now I'm wearing scrubs. And says, I want to be comfortable, but they won't let me be that comfortable. I guess
you gotta be you, though. You gotta be you. Anyways, how long have you been playing guitar? What age were you when you wrote your first song, either instrumentally or lyrically?
Well, I probably wrote my first song when I was about 15 or 16. I started playing guitar when I was 13, and I started singing because I used to just make fun of stuff on the radio in the car on the way to school. Just trying to make people laugh, and I'd be imitating Billy Idol or something, or John Mellencamp, and everybody think it's hilarious. But then I was secretly I'm I think I'm onto something, It kind of sounds.
You kind of discovered that you could sing. You had a natural talent.
Yeah, I remember when I was 6 years old and I was singing All Star in the fucking shower, dude, in the bathroom, and I was thinking in my head, fucking I sound just like All Star.
Hey, so that kind of. Actually, I remember you've told me before you come from a musical family.
Yeah, my dad plays in a band, and he always has grown up my entire life. Friday nights were Friday night music practice, and his bandmates, they had kids that were around our age growing up, so we'd be playing Crash Bandicoot in the basement, and without even realizing it, just being exposed to music. It was never pushed on us, but it was readily available, which I think is kind of key. You try to push lessons on a kid, and they're gonna think it's stupid. It's not fun.
But it seems like your dad just made music a part of your life without actually trying to make you do music or anything. Is that
yeah.
And cool. Are you self-taught? Did you
Yeah.
get lessons?
No, me and my brothers were all self-taught. Like our dad showed us like the basic cowboy chords, and basically from that said try to learn what you listen to and look it up on the internet. Yeah.
Hey, we're living in an era where we have all the information we want for free at our fingertips, at our laptops, our smartphones. We have access to anything we want to learn if we have the ambition and drive to learn it.
If you lock somebody in a room for a year with like dry food and some water, and all they have is an electric guitar with an amp and a phone charger with a phone and internet, they're gonna get really good at guitar.
That actually sounds like the plot to a mild-mannered horror movie.
And he just
You just lock somebody in, but then again, honestly, that doesn't sound too bad.
Nah.
You got your dry food, you got everything you need.
Sounds great.
So the last song you're going to be playing for us today is called Extract. What is that song about?
Song's just about a lot of stuff, man.
What kind of stuff, man? What kind of stuff?
It's just about life being weird, and just like the way my songs are just about they're just little tidbits of my days tied together. And a common theme in all my songs is kind of like you listen to the lyrics, you're kind of like, damn, messed up. This is messed up. Yeah.
Oh,
We can-
life is really messed up. So, you know what? Without further ado, folks, let's hear Elliot Krull's song, Extract.
Oh my, sometimes I find my legs so straight, so far from simple. Try to get by, my feet just slip. I'm not so nimble. Lock my thoughts in a small box. I'll drop it off and drive so far. I get to my destination back next to me in my car. Disorganized, ordinary day to ordinary eyes. Float when he died. The sci-fi written on the walls of my bedroom, my autobiography. Feel apathy and want my sympathy. Wondering why I don't empathize, I must emphasize. Anxiety hits like a timothy. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes. Forget to send me away. You tried to sway me with my instincts. Extinct, kill me, fail me every other check, but don't get him. Need to be boost, go straight to my feet. I'm falling, why I stumble. Mumbo tell it gets me by. You think you are so high and mighty. Feel doomed, groomed in quicksand. Quick man, throw me a broom. I'm singing. will I leave when I can't breathe? Had to take care of some extra shit, and it left me broke way before my check. Wrecked my week, stressed me out, testing me. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes. Extract the exact thing that bothers you. Feel it in your shoes.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Bank notes. Bank notes.
Hello. And this concludes our episode of Story in the Song with Elliot Krull. Please subscribe to RiverSunStone Studios YouTube channel and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
And please check out the music of Elliot Krull and his band, The Banknotes, Banknotes. Google it, Facebook it. They're on the social media.
They're on my shirt.
They got a show coming up at Shuba's on December 21st, and they have a basement online. They have their album Basement online. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening.
Stay tuned for a new album coming in 2020.
I am your host, Daryl Holloman. This is our guest, Elliot Krull. Our executive producers are Chris Tobin and Brian Adam Christian. RiverSunStone out. Bye. Thank you.